Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
From the land of lemons, magic, and neighbors who still wave, it's Voices of the Valley. Join hosts Jim and John as they shine a spotlight on local businesses, city council news, community events, and all the colorful characters that make the Santa Clara River Valley feel like home. From Santa Paula to Fillmore and Peru, this is your hometown podcast, Voices of the Valley.
All right, Voices of the Valley. I mean, what the heck? We already have 3 people that were waiting to come on.
Wow,
So
that's good.
my mom,
Your mom always.
your wife.
My wife, I don't think she's.
No, she wouldn't listen to you.
No, she's got better things to do right
Yeah.
now. So, although she did listen to our podcast, I was playing it back last week, and she sat and listened to the whole thing, and she thought we were pretty good.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
she thought I was better, but I mean than you. But she,
No, she didn't.
No, I know she didn't.
I know better than that.
No, she knows that. So she said you guys were good. So we'll
I've had a lot of people say that we have a good chemistry together.
Yeah. She's kind of like what we had to say and how we talk about the different subjects and kind of relate it to personal experiences and do different things. And
Yeah, and how we don't really like each other, and
just we have to put up with each other for 30 minutes, but that's okay.
it's doable.
Exactly.
It's like my penance.
Should be
I
mine.
go to confession, and then that's what they tell me. You have to spend 30 minutes with what's your name?
Yeah. Well, come on. We have to do your therapy, and you put me through the grinder on that one.
I did.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the years, I know more about you than you probably think. So.
I know you do.
Uh-huh.
So I want to talk a little bit about the the planning commission meeting yesterday.
Important meeting yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And then there was one other topic that I wanted to bring up. But before we do that,
Yes.
we have our first 10 minutes with Tim segment.
Okay.
So we call it the 10 minutes with Tim in 3 minutes. But
Yes.
this is the 10 minutes with Tim in 4 minutes.
Okay. Why did you get extra minute?
We gave him an extra minute because the topic he's talking about is about he got Dan Singer on, and he's talking about the fire contract with the city of Santa Paula.
All right. I'll give him the extra minute for
Yeah.
that one. Okay.
So
That works.
so here we go. 10
Let's
minutes
do
with Tim.
To 10 Minutes with Tim, where Tim Eubanks talks about the things people care about in Santa Paula that plenty of people notice. He's just the one willing to say them out loud. Not all views expressed by Tim are those of this podcast, but they probably should be.
Hi, welcome to 10 Minutes with Tim. Today we are going to talk to City Manager Dan Singer.
So I'm Dan Singer. I'm city manager of the city of Santa Paula. It's been a pleasure to serve this community since 2019 when I got here, almost 7 years ago. Fourth city that I've managed, fourth and final, I'm fond of saying,
Okay.
because live here in town and hope to retire here.
Any plans, I guess, to how do we renegotiate our deal maybe with the county fire or?
Well, it's a tricky one. So back in 2018, the city, just a second. Okay. My wife was calling. The city entered into an annexation agreement with the county, and they basically disbanded our fire department into the county services. The county serves much of the county, about 2/3 of the county. And that agreement is not something we can change.
Right.
So we can't decide to change our mind in saying, okay, now we want to just have our own fire department. If we did that, we would still be beholden to paying the county. So it's a little tricky. What I do think is worth examining is what kind of services are we getting. I think the city's well served by the county. They're building a beautiful new station in the town. I think it's going to be a signature of not only our town, but probably an example of a true outstanding example of a public facility for the whole county system. And we're going to get a ladder truck We're going to have EMTs there. So I think the city is really well served and will continue to be well served by county fire. Now, the fundamental question is, did the assumptions that went into that annexation, do they still hold true today?
Mm.
And I think at some point that's worth looking at. There were, financial expectations about how much money we'd be contributing, but the city's grown a lot and we're continuing to grow.
That was the next question I had.
Yeah. And so a lot of our property taxes are being sent to county fire. And at some point it's worth looking at, is that in balance with what was promised and committed to?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, is there a cap on, because we're having so many more homes coming in, like, is there a cap on, like, oh, we can only get, I don't know, 5 million a year or whatever it could be, instead
Right.
of each year, the more houses we sell, that number keeps going up and we have less on our end to do stuff with.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a cap.
Okay.
And there's not a formal revisiting. I've seen agreements that'll say after 10 years, everyone gets to look at it again, or it'll be audited.
Mhm.
That doesn't exist in this agreement. So it would have to take the, goodwill of the county and the city to come together and renegotiate. I don't know how likely that would be, but without facts and numbers, I don't even see trying to go to the table.
All right.
That's it.
This has been 10 Minutes with Tim in 4 minutes. Oh, where are we?
Yeah, what happened?
We're here. Oh, there we are.
All right. So I got a bone to pick with him.
I have to navigate that. He's too kind.
No,
Oh.
a couple things. So, yeah.
Okay.
One, how did he pull Singer to come in? We haven't had him as a guest. So what happened?
Okay. So that's one. What's the second question?
What's he looking at? He's like looking up. Is the camera up there, or what's he doing? He's got to be focused, razor focused, looking at Singer right in the eye. Tell me what's going on.
Well, the way the studio is, he might have been,
Yeah.
because it's kind of weird the way the
Kind of
cameras
looked
are.
up, and I was just like, all right, just stare right at him.
Yeah. Well, so Dan was actually up on the ceiling
Oh, was he?
area. Yeah. So
okay.
it's
all right.
just the way the cameras were situated. It
Oh,
looked.
I was like, what's he looking at? It wasn't looking at you. I know that. So yeah, but yeah,
I was off in the corner.
talk about pulling a good guess. I mean, Jesus,
Well, this is part one. So he gets into the whole community challenges and living in the city and stuff like that. So we will have part two next week.
that's good. I mean, he's asking some good questions, and and I know Dan's been always open to answering what he can.
Well, this was cut a little out of sequence because I thought the fire one. That's a question that's on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, that's been,
And so I thought that was a really good question to start off with. And
ever since that deal was made, there's been a lot of pushback over the years as far as there's always the historic part of it, the love for having a city fire department. Did we have all the services? No, we didn't have all the services. I mean, they all did a great job, but we lack certain things, and it's just costly. So I get why they made that change. My rub with it is, why did we give up so much?
we gave up so much, and we didn't put any definitions in there as far as we can renegotiate this in X number of years. We can.
I've asked that question numerous times. It's like, why can't we go back to the county and say, hey, look, as this community is growing, the services have to come up. We need to do something. Let's go in good faith, have renegotiate. And I mean, even if it's a 0.5% back we get, or 1% back, that's a lot of money for the community,
Right.
And I get it's expensive to do the county thing, but yeah, I agree with moving to the county, but I think they kind of messed up when they gave up what they gave up. I think, and then, like you said, not putting those, hey, in 10 years is good faith, let's talk about this kind of thing, because the community is changing, So
Right. And as Tim had pointed out, we've added a tremendous number of houses.
Yeah.
And it's not like the fire service ends up it's not like they get any more busy. I mean, sure, there might be some calls that they get over there, but if you look at their charts, the number of calls and everything, it's not like it's growing exponentially. It's
Small percentage increase.
yeah.
But if you look at it, at the more houses and stuff we put in here, all that property tax for the bulk of it goes to the county.
Yeah.
But yet again, what happens? We need more police services. We need more infrastructure. We need all these different things that go into supporting all that. The only way we can offset it, in my opinion, is we need sales tax, more sales tax. So how do you do that? You need to bring businesses in. We have a shopping center that's still, it's in progress, but it's going to take a while, and, you need to help bring some other businesses in. I mean, you see the Rite Aid building, it's been empty for a while now. Bring something in. I asked the question yesterday to the city manager, what's going on with the Kmart lot, and so they got to figure out what's going on there too.
So I can tell you what's going on with the Kmart lot.
Okay.
They're going to be building townhomes.
Yeah, but
200 plus.
I know about that, but I think it's delayed. So so it's going to be, I don't know if that's public or whatever, but I think it's just not happening yet. So it's going to take a little while. But even if they approve it now, how long is it going to be before they build that thing?
Yeah, because I believe it was approved.
I think so, but I think it's just the process of what they're going to go through. So it's going to take another 2 years, and my thing was yesterday was like, so can we get them to clean it up? Let's because that lot is horrible right now. If you go by it, it's a bad representation of Santa Paula. It really is. If somebody's coming from out of town and they pull into Peck from Fillmore or wherever they're coming from, what's the first thing you see? This big, ugly freaking lot.
Yeah.
So either wrap the chain link fence with something or clear it out. The buildings can stay. The building's going to do it. But the rest of it, I mean, just get a landscaper and come in and do it. That's where the city should really crack down on the property owner and say, look, I get it. The things aren't happening as fast, but let's keep it clean. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, and at this point, I would assume that they own the lot, the Kmart lot.
They do own it, but it's like, so if it's not going to be developed in the next year or so, why can't you just clean it up?
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that anyways.
Graffiti, there's all these things, and that's where the city needs to maybe. I don't know if there's ordinances in there for that, but I mean, if they're not, they need to put something in place for these larger commercial places to try and do it. I mean, if you look at the Rite Aid lot now, I mean, that's going to start getting kind of ugly. And then now the fact there's a ton of cars that park there.
Really?
Yeah, all the people that live in those apartments, that parking lot is full and the business is closed.
Oh, jeez.
So it's just like, I get it. People are parking because they have a hard time finding parking, but it's going to look horrible after a little while. So, and it's right smack in the middle of our business district. So there's a lot of things. I was driving around town with my wife a week or so ago and just looking around town, and I'm like, our town is not looking too good right now. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit. You drive around, there's certain sections, weeds are overgrown, sidewalks are looking like crap. There's just, and I was just like, this is not a good representation of us. We're better than that. So the city really needs to step up a little bit and identify these areas. I get it. They're shorthanded. What's going on? But let's, we have the Santa Paula Beautiful Days that are coming up. Let's identify some areas that need some help. And then let's get some volunteers to help the city and do that. I mean, I know they're doing I don't know. Did they do the Santa Paula Beautiful yet for the spring?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if they did or didn't.
I know they had Arbor Day.
Yeah, so they may be doing that one, but let's identify some areas where we can really clean up because, yeah, you drive. I was driving on Main Street in some areas. There's some really bad areas that are looking, and it's not. When I mean it's bad, it's just being not taken care of, and some of those are on the sidewalks and the other things, and that's city's responsibility too. So, it's great because I see property owners walking around with trash bag and they're picking up trash. They're walking on the path and all the bike path and everything. It's great. So let's pick it up. Let's do a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get irritated when I see that every time I pass by that lot of the Kmart lot. We should be able to, when we had our event there, our summer concert thing that we did probably like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We paid to have that lot clean because it was bad. We contracted a landscaper that came in and cleaned it all up for us, and we kind of worked out a deal with them as a partnership and stuff. But the lot was so bad, we're like, we can't have this representation, so we ended up just cleaning the whole thing. And it was, it cost a good amount of money, but still, it just, I hate to see that representation like that. So,
Right.
anyway, clean up your stuff here too. So yeah, I will admit, when I walked in today, this place has never looked better.
Really?
Yes, it looks great downstairs. Although I didn't see my name said "Welcome, John." You had
On the board?
on the board. That'd be
Yeah.
great if you could do that every time I come in.
I can.
I wish you would.
Really?
Yeah, make me feel special.
That would make you feel special?
Make me feel really special. So
You gonna make a donation?
I'll donate something. Yeah, I'm donating my time. Come on now,
Yeah.
I'm doing what I can.
So,
Anyway,
off
my little soapbox there.
okay. So, oh, by the way,
Mhm.
if you have never been to the New Hall Mansion
Mhm.
in Piru,
Yeah.
May 2nd, this Saturday,
Okay.
from 11 to 4, they're going to have an open house, and you can do your own self-guided tours. So literally, you can walk through that place, go anywhere you want inside that place, check it all out, walk the grounds, do whatever. It's an amazing building.
I've never been in it.
You've never been in it?
Never been in.
Saturday, 11 to 4.
Okay.
You need to go down. You can say hi to Ken,
Okay.
but you need to go down and literally just walk through that building.
Is there free wine tasting?
I believe they have wine.
He's got great wine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So-
is it Heritage Valley wine?
Yes, they're gonna have their wines. They'll have they're gonna have food for you can buy food. It's gonna be like a picnic tri-tip, I think, or something like that.
Nice.
So if you haven't done it, it's definitely worth checking it out. It's really cool. I could just picture doing a night of magic in that building with different magicians in different rooms and having food and
As they're touring in it, there's a magician there with something for them, and
yeah, but
Yeah.
just you have a sit down dinner, you go to a show, you watch. I mean, it would trump the castle.
how about even because they have a back area, right, outdoors?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be cool to do a magic show with the backdrop of the mansion, and you're out there outdoors doing something in the evening?
Yeah, sitting on the lawn and the show is on the patio.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, got to work on that.
I will.
I think you know somebody there that could help you with that. right?
I think I do.
Yeah.
So
No, that's cool. No, that's good that they're doing the open house for that. So I've heard nothing but great things for that place.
yeah. So 11 to 4
Okay.
this Saturday, really cool.
Uh-huh.
But so Fillmore, what's going on with Fillmore? I know there's this football rivalry
Correct.
between Santa Paula and Fillmore,
Yes.
but that should just be that. A fun little rivalry. Wow, why can't I say it? Rivalry.
Okay.
Thank
you're-
you.
You're close.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just a fun little playful kind of haha jab jab. But there's some people that take that pretty seriously.
Yeah, because there's deep family roots, in both communities. Any small town rivalry it's you go anywhere, they have that, but here there's generations of families that have gone through the school system, and there's been the great battles of football and stuff, and they carry it on forever, and then they want to see their kids do it and the grandkids do it. And I know somebody that played football, and his kids went through, his grandkids went through it, and there's still that talk of, oh well, Fillmore this and that, whatever. And
Yeah.
it's like, but I don't know, it's just, I went to school in Santa Paula during that time. Yeah, I had my issues with Fillmore as far as the football team or whatever, and that's just a natural rivalry you get as a kid. But once it was done, I was like, it is what it is,
But it should be a playful thing. It should be. It shouldn't be something that truly exists deep down in your heart.
It does, though. That's what's the crazy part about it. I think I mentioned to you, I had a meeting a few weeks ago with a few people, and that was brought up.
Yeah.
And it was just like, really? you know?
And here's what I don't understand is you have the Boys and Girls Club, Santa Clara River Valley.
Mhm.
So they have
4
buildings
clubs.
in each of the cities.
Mhm.
Bunyan is in Fillmore and Santa Paula.
Bunyan.
I always say Bunyan.
Wow, come on.
I know.
Wow.
Sorry, Bunyan.
Okay.
All right, my bad. Bunyan. Well, they'll never be a sponsor. Blew that one.
All right. Well,
So
we'll have to get Shane in here to talk.
yeah, we should. But they're in Fillmore and Santa Paula.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they would like to see some community building.
Yeah, I've recently talked with them about it, about doing some more partnerships because they're a vested organization in Santa Paula and Fillmore and Piru for the most part too.
Yeah.
Seemed like Boys and Girls Club. I'm the current board chair, and yes, we're looking at the entire valley from Piru. You have 2 clubs in Fillmore and the big club in Santa Paula, and yeah, we service everybody. There's no rivalry. There's no nothing. It's just like we're here for the kids of the entire valley.
Yeah.
And that's how we treat it, So
And hence the show for the podcast, Voices of
Yes.
the Valley.
Yes, but I've always had that larger, bigger picture outlook, and I've always had. I think I've shared with this. I've always had a hard time selling it to the various organizations. They just don't want to. If one name's attached to it, the other one doesn't want it. Okay, so let's come up with something common. Well, whatever. Then we're gonna lose our identity. Well, it's like, well, then you gotta, So you can't win either way. It's just like you got to figure out what's the best path to take and then just do it.
My identity is Santa Clara River Valley.
Which we are doing.
That's my identity.
Yep. So which we're moving forward with it.
Yeah.
So and you know what? If people want to stay in their bubble and do their thing, that's fine too. And that we respect all of that, but we have to make changes and we need to do certain things and we're going to try and do it. We got a few things we're doing and we're going to see if it's viable, and hopefully others partner with us. And, we got to think for the greater good of the valley, because nobody else is going to care.
Yeah.
You got to take care of yourselves.
So we got to figure out what Tim's new schedule is, because I think he needs to be in here to do a segment where he can rant. I want Angry Tim.
Well, yeah, he was much more effective as Angry Tim.
Yeah, I want Angry Tim.
This nice guy Tim. We gotta fire him up.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the conversation when he was fired up.
Yeah.
So, hey, if it means us moving the showtime in the day, let's do it. Let's explore that.
Yeah.
Because
well, I did mention that
Yeah.
we can be flexible on the time and
Yeah.
everything like that.
I think that would be great if we could do something.
And we need. He had mentioned something about somebody in Fillmore
Mhm.
that was just as passionate. I guess that would be a polite word, kind word to use to put it.
Male or female?
Female.
I think I know who it is. Okay.
That she would be a good person to have on the show to represent Fillmore.
Yeah. The more the merrier to bring people in to talk about it, because every community has their concerns. But when you look at the whole, we all have the same concerns. What is it about? Bringing more business, bringing more tourism. How do we make that happen? How do we have the resources we need for this area? Because if we don't ask for them, they're not going to bring them to us. You see other cities in this county do a great job bringing resources into their community. Not to say that we don't do a good job, but we could do better. We need, as a whole, I mean, regionally, we would be more powerful. How do we get there?
Right.
And I think we're taking a step towards getting there. And we just hope that people will embrace it and get on board with it. We're not taking anything away from anybody. We're respecting everybody's what they're doing, but we're just trying to bring another avenue to help make this valley better. We're complimenting what everybody else is doing. And if they want to jump on board, hey, great. If they don't, well, then you know where to go. So I'm kidding.
You don't have to go anywhere.
No, just do your thing.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your bubble. That's all we need to do. Stay out of our way. There you go.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. So, but no, I mean, everybody's trying to do what they think is best, and that's great. But is it good enough? That's what we got. Like I was talking about the city. we do a great job, but we could be better. And that's how we have to think in the valley. We do a good job, but we can be so much better here. You know, I mean, who wouldn't love to come out here and visit out here? You know, hang out here.
Yeah, I want to do this. I don't know if I can get up to do it, but I want to do this. I want to go and take a picture of the sunrise over the mountain, because if you stand a certain way, you can capture the Santa Paula Mountains, the range, with the sun coming up over it.
Okay.
And I want to take a picture.
Facing out right in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you got to stand at a certain angle with your hand up and your leg up, and you take it and you'll get that picture. So at a certain time.
So one leg up, hand juggle on a beam.
On a beam, holding yourself.
Climb a tree.
Taking a picture. You should get on the roof. You probably would get a great picture if you got up on the roof.
I want to do it from the hospital.
That's a good one. Yeah, but I think it would have to be because depending on where the sun comes up, because a lot of times it's way farther out.
I think it would be the tip of the mountain.
Okay. All right.
So just before the ocean and the tip of the mountain.
But you get some great shots regardless when you're up there.
Yeah.
You know, even sunsets are fabulous up there. But yeah, in the morning, that'd be cool. Get up like 6 a.m, go hang out there and just.
Yeah, I want to see the glow behind the range.
Yeah, it's a beautiful look. I mean, it really is beautiful scene. So yeah, we're starting.
I just don't know that I can wake up that early.
That's part of the challenge, you know. So set your alarm, have Julie kick you out of bed and say, go take a picture, you know. So
take a picture, it'll last longer.
Well, we got to think outside the box. Let's be creative here. Everybody should be a little more creative, you know. So we got a few things planned. So we're gonna make some things happen here.
So yeah.
But okay, I know there's therapy now, right? Okay, what's your gripe? Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
You know, it's really easy to want to just close yourself up, put yourself in your own bubble, and just say the heck with it all. I'm just gonna worry about me. I'm dealing with some stuff in the magic world right now that's just driving me absolutely insane. And there's so much jealousy and I don't know, it's a weird environment that we live in right now. And everything is so incredibly heightened. I mean, we're going to see $7 a gallon for gas coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So people can't afford to live. They can't afford to do things. Everybody's tense. Everybody's stressed out. There are people that have so much money, they don't worry about a damn thing. And anyone who says that money doesn't bring peace of mind is lying, because
it does.
It's their way to justify why, it's just, they still have their stresses, but there's a peace of mind that comes with having the money you need in order to live your daily life and to be able to enjoy things and to do the things you want to do without worrying about.
Not having to worry that you have, hey, I need $100, not a big deal. We're worried sometimes if you're in a situation, you have to think about, can I really afford $100?
Yeah.
And so it's a different level.
Yeah. Like if I do this trip, I'm not going to be paying my electric bill for the next 6 months.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it does bring a certain level of peace. But there are so many people that are living, including me, that we're just fighting every single day to turn over some rock that's got a $10 bill underneath it.
Yeah.
And so relationships are even that much more challenging because everybody is in this weird funk.
It gets very competitive, right?
Yeah. And there's things that I don't know. I can't really get into a lot of it without ousting some people, but it's like, can we not just work together and get along? Do we have to? I mean, it's like, great, congratulations, you got the gig, wonderful.
It's kind of like
Feel happy for me when I get mine.
yeah, it's kind of like if you take a gig from somebody, they instead of being happy for you, they get mad because they feel you're taking it away from their livelihood or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like, no, I mean, if you go out, me and you go out and bid on something and you get it, am I going to be mad? I shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be, but what you're
Shouldn't
saying
be.
is you will be.
I might be disappointed. I might be upset at you, but then I have to look at it. What did I do wrong? But a lot of times people do that. It's easy to blame the other.
See, I would definitely take that approach.
Mhm.
That if you and I went out for a bid on something, my first reaction to me not getting awarded the job would be, what did I do wrong?
Mhm.
Where did I fall short?
Mhm.
And I would evaluate that so that I wouldn't do it again next time. I wouldn't blame you. Now, if you went in there and went, yeah, well, Jim's a piece of crap, and
Undercut, did whatever. I
you'll
did
be
do.
making a yeah. But if you sold it on John, and this is what I'm going to do for you, and this is how I'm going to help you, and they decided that that was their better choice, then that's on me. You know?
Well, I mean, a perfect example, I think that lit the fuse, is our politics.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you look at that, what happens? You know, I mean, this has been for the last, 8 years that this has been going on.
Yeah.
It's like,
As longer than that, 12.
whatever it is, you know,
Yeah.
well, it's been going on forever, even before that.
Yeah.
So, but you know, you have a choice, and everybody tries to undercut everybody because they want to get in there. And then when it's done, some people still can't accept it. And what do? They create chaos.
Right.
It happens in our federal government. I mean, two parties cannot get along.
Nope.
You know, and when one gets a spot in there and then the other one loses, what happens? They freeze that other person out, you know, whatever. And so they're so divisive,
Yep.
I guess, as they're doing this. And so they don't even look at the reality of what's going on in the world. It's all about us or them. And so and I think it's starting to trickle down into the local levels more now.
Well, and
You know?
let's face it, if you're wealthy, you cannot empathize with somebody who is poor.
No idea.
You know?
Yeah.
For them, it's like, oh, you know, it's $7 a gallon for gas. Come on, we're gonna get through this and blah blah blah, and it'll go back down, and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, I can't go to work now because I can't put $5 in my gas tank because it takes me 2 gallons to get to work.
Yeah. And I read something today about that, about people that's one of the main topics of what their worries are right now is, well, it's fuel prices, it's home prices, you know, it's their general bills, and what's going on in healthcare is a lot of it too. You know, like people are losing their healthcare because they can't afford it because of the just an increase in the gas by $1. What's that doing to people that have to travel an hour a day to work?
Right.
That is ridiculous what it's costing them. And then but then you're in California, you cross the border, you're going to get the same gas and it's $2 cheaper.
Right.
So what's wrong with that picture?
Right.
You know, we had a candidates forum. I know we're in a short time, but we had a candidates forum yesterday in Moore Park. And it was for our assembly member for Jackie Irwin's spot. And the two candidates, they were both fantastic. I loved, you know, how they presented themselves in it. But one of them, who was a Republican, said, bottom line is, like, if you look at from in California, what's happened over the last 16 years, are we better off than we were? You know, 16 years under the Democratic lead, are we better off right now? You know, are we, you know, our fuel's higher, homes have gone out of control, we're losing all of our insurances that are leaving California. You know, the ultra wealthy businesses are leaving California too. So we've created no middle class. It's all either you're rich or you're not, you know, kind of thing. And he said, this is all under one party. He's like, it's time to just rattle the cage, change it, try and figure out what we can do to meet in the middle.
Right.
It wasn't about swinging it the other way. It was about, hey, let's bring it back to the middle and have conversations to see what we can do to make things better for the people. Quit fighting at the higher level and bring it down to the local level and really understand what's going on in our communities, because we've lost that, totally lost that. And it's at a federal level the same way too.
All right. I'm gonna end with us stirring up the pot.
Okay, do it.
This is gonna
There's a
really
lot to talk about.
no, this is gonna stir up the pot, and
Sure.
but we're gonna end with this, and maybe we'll pick it up next week. But
Mhm.
there are a lot of people that were on the global warming bandwagon, which then had to get changed to climate change because it wasn't just about warming. Things were getting colder in some areas and things of that nature, to now reversing their thought process entirely. And one of those people is Bill Gates. Bill Gates was definitely on the free, eliminate fossil fuels and all, and now has taken a swing. AI requires so much electricity.
How do you get it?
That they are saying, I believe this came from Bill Gates, was saying that we would have to produce essentially the equivalent to a nuclear power plant. We'd have to produce 100 of those a year in order for AI to continue to function. That technology draws so much energy that we aren't producing enough energy to keep up with it. And this is supposed to be one of the biggest technology revolutions since, the assembly line.
Yeah.
And so, so a lot of these people who were on this bandwagon are now realizing that we got to do the exact opposite. We got to start producing some major significant energy.
Yeah.
And windmills and solar panels aren't going to generate the energy it needs.
Not even close.
In order to get those things to function. And we're going to have to do it 100 of them a year.
Yeah. It was brought up about bringing nuclear into
Yeah.
California to support a lot of that, because that was brought up. They're building these huge facilities in the Midwest just to support AI.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Well, and what did we do? We built a solar panel farm between Nevada and California in the desert, and then completely dismantled it.
Yeah.
How many millions and millions and millions of dollars went into that farm to be completely stripped down and dismantled?
And the windmill farms are the next ones.
Yeah.
Those are expensive to operate too.
So
yeah, and they got to just stop the madness and just bring it back in, and let's really think about what makes sense. But that'll never happen because nothing makes sense
no.
to them.
And the thing is I truly believe that became an industry. Global warming became an industry, and it became a huge moneymaker. And so the more that they could pass that agenda, the more money they made.
Oh yeah.
And some of those very same people now are doing a 180 because
they made their money already on it.
Yeah, and they stand to make a ton of money on AI, but it's going to require a lot of energy, so they got to reverse.
And those people were doing it one way, the money's starting to dry up, so they figured out something else, and now they're going to move to that.
Yeah,
it happens.
See, that is a Tim conversation.
Yeah, that's and
we shouldn't be the ones getting fired up. We got to stay neutral.
No, we can get fired up a little bit. I mean, we're trying to find out a common ground, right? We're not taking yes or no. It's more like, what do we need to do to make it happen?
What I need to do is that the boy in the bubble. I need to go into my plastic bubble,
come up with something,
zip it up,
just
yeah, do my thing.
Yeah.
I want to leave the playground.
Okay. Those big giant balls that you get in and it rolls. Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about? You just stay in your lane there, just do your thing.
Yeah. No, the thing is I'm in that big giant ball, and it's making me dizzy. It's getting me sick to my stomach. I'm claustrophobic.
You got to find the right lane to stay in, right?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's not going to solve anytime soon. That's the tough thing about it.
Yeah.
It's not, even with the election stuff, it's not going to change anything
Nope.
soon. So we just got to stop the madness.
No, this country, unfortunately, is going to need something that's going to create something that's going to cause us to all come back together again.
It happens. The cycles happen.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last one was. I don't know if it was 9/11 was the last time that happened.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So it's been 25 years now. So,
yeah,
it's going to happen at some point. So, it's unfortunate because something bad has to happen in order to get get everybody to think a different way, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
But anyway,
So next week we will continue the 10 minutes with Tim. Where he is going to talk to Dan Singer about Measure R and some of the challenges that he has working in a small city, but also being a resident in that city.
that's always an interesting twist.
Yes.
You know. So
this is Voice of the Valley. We went 10 minutes over.
yeah. By the way, can I borrow $20 for a gallon of gas?
I have a gas tank with about, I don't know, a quarter of a tank.
That's what it's going to be now, right? Jesus Christ. Anyway,
all right.
it's all good.
See y'all next week.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.